Hello, everyone. Well, it's Sunday evening. I didn't really have much of a full day. I walked the dog quite a bit. And before we get going, please like, subscribe, ring the bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. I was able to get a new phone today. I had to order it online because the stores are pretty much all closed. And so hopefully I'll have a phone later on this week. So since I pretty much shattered mine, the phone works. I can make phone calls and do a few apps on it, but I can't really record on it because the camera section of it got totally smashed. So I'm using my computer right now to record, and obviously the video quality isn't great, but at least I can update you guys as to what's going on, or update myself because I'm keeping a record of all of these days living under coronavirus. Uh, I'm looking at a week in which I have 0 job assignments. So hopefully something comes up at the last minute. It happened last week, so cross your fingers for me. And I have to say, now that I'm over a month into this, and this is over 3 weeks of recording these, today I felt angry. I'm really angry today because I'm watching the stupidity of people protesting to endanger my life, my mother's life. I understand how difficult this is. Believe me, I go nuts in this house. But if we don't do this together, this is going to drag on forever. And the reason this is already dragging on forever is because the cases keep increasing, the numbers keep going up. They shouldn't by this point. If everybody was following the protocols of what has been told to us, the numbers should start. There's flattening in some places, but not enough. The curve needs to come down so we can return back to normal. But all these stupid, I call them COVIDiots, out there are making it worse. I mean, you're now starting to see the reports of the churches a few weeks ago that were open, and the people are now coming down sick with it. And a couple of pastors have died because they were disobeying the orders. Now we had all these protests this weekend. Thankfully, it wasn't thousands, it was just hundreds. But these idiots are dragging this on. They want the country to reopen. Fine, sit at home. Quit going out there. Quit doing the stupidity that you're doing. I also noticed it was an interesting thing that if you look at most of the footage in those videos, it was mostly white people. Predominantly white men, but you did have some white women. This is the ultimate of privilege in this country, that you obviously are in economic positions that you can make these protests. I mean, to you, your paycheck matters than the life of other people. Boy, you were raised with privilege. If you think people are expendable, it's inconvenience because you can't go to the Chanel shop and buy a suit, or you're inconvenient because you can't go to the mall, or you're inconvenienced because, oh, God forbid, I can't go to Olive Garden to sit and eat inside instead of taking it to go. That's the ultimate privilege, that you think you can go out and protest because you're being inconvenienced. Well, I'm being inconvenienced, and your stupidity is making it worse because we're dragging this out, and it's affecting my paycheck. What paycheck? Honestly, because last paycheck was the last one I got of my regular employment. Now I go, and I'm going to be sweating it. And then you deal with the incompetence of the government. From the federal level with our crazy president giving mixed messages on everything, to our state governor who just thinks that miraculously we can open and everything's going to be fine when the numbers right now in Dallas are the highest they've ever been. And guess what? We've had a spike the last few days, so we were kind of keeping it flat, but all of a sudden it's ramped up a little bit. And he wants to reopen now that the numbers are increasing and starting to shoot up. This is when we should open the state. Makes no sense. The State Unemployment Commission. I mean, this is not news anymore. This has been going on for a while. People have been losing their jobs. I still can't get through. I was able to fill out the application. Shows I was denied on a technicality for me to call in to discuss it with them. And I dial that number all hours of day and night, and I just keep getting a busy signal. They know millions of people are unemployed. Staff the damn phones. This is not news anymore. So I'm just angry. I'm mad at the incompetence, at the selfishness. I even have a family relative who thinks that Fauci should be fired, that Trump is God, and she proceeds to quote stuff from news sources that have been shown through the press to be Russian operatives. And then when I pointed it out to her, that do you realize what you just told me is actually propaganda website, a propaganda that has been linked to the Russian disinformation, she then tells me that that is a hoax. And it's like, oh my God. And this is a college-educated woman. There's a man up in Plano. I finally had to unfriend him on Facebook. I don't know how he started following me, but he was lamenting over the fact that he can't go out and do whatever he wants. And it was pointed out to him by a very close friend of his who is HIV that he's in danger if he were to get infected. And the guy went, oh, that's terrible. But then still goes and says, but it's my life. It's like, wow, you really have no empathy. You were raised poorly. And guess what? These are white people. It is absolutely ridiculous. I am angry today. I'm angry that I cannot hug my mom. I'm still upset about that. I get to see her once a week. We sit in the patio, keep our distance. But we can't go out and eat and do stuff in public because, needless to say, I have to keep her safe. She's 90 years old. She would be the first to succumb to this disease because of her age, and she's had a few health issues. So, it's impossible for me to embrace her. But I do it out of love because I don't want to be a carrier and get her sick. But these effing people that are so selfish who are not trying to help the situation, and they're making it worse. Because all of us who care are having to go through this on a longer term because they're selfish. They're absolutely selfish. And the kicker of this is most of these people claim to be religious. They claim to believe in God and Jesus. They're the ultimate hypocrites. They are not Christian. A good Christian would not endanger someone else. I call somebody out who went to church and said she knows she was immune because Jesus blessed her. And that if she did have it, she would recover because she believes in Jesus. And I pointed out to her, well, if you were to run across me or my mother and you did have it, but you wouldn't succumb to it, and you spread it, you therefore are a murderer. Because you passed this on to somebody who would die. And she proceeded to say, Jesus would protect the person she infects also. College-educated woman. I think she actually even has a master's. It just blows my mind how selfish, how fanatical, how irrational people are. And you know what? I made a joke about how I wish some of these people would... I don't want to, wish death or illness on anybody, but these people are tempting me. They really are attempting to change my mind on that. They need to understand that we're all humans and our lives matter. Just because you live in a nice privileged house and you were lucky enough that you have the funds to survive this, and you're inconvenienced because you can't go to Sephora, doesn't mean that other people like us, I have to do my job. When I get called in, I have to go. I'm not a true first responder because I'm an interpreter, but when S hits the fan and they need somebody that can translate, I get called. So I have to don all the protective gear and put my life in risk to go help a situation, be it at a hospital or CPS. I do the courts too, but they're closed. So there's no hearings at the moment. But I go out there to do my job to help people out. I'm putting myself at risk, though I take every precaution possible. But when I'm not working, I stay at home unless I'm walking the dog or I have to go to the grocery store. So for you to have the freedom to bitch and complain because you can't go shopping and don't care about people like me who run the risk of catching it every time I have to go out to work. Is the ultimate in selfishness. That is not Christian. Anyhow, that's my rant. Obviously, I'm angry tonight because it was just an intense day. And it's weird because of all the things I'm wearing today, I'm wearing a shirt that says, Namaste. I think I actually do need to meditate some because I probably will feel better. But it's been a day. It has been a day. I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully soon I'll get a new phone so that the quality of the videos will improve tremendously. I got the new state-of-the-art phone. Oh, and that's the other thing. When did getting a cell phone become so complicated? I mean, it just is like, ugh. There's plans, there's phones, there's types, this, then the other, what, contract, this, then the other. I just wanted a phone. And I wanted to see about maybe switching to another provider. Because my provider is Sprint, and their prices have gone through the roof, even though they're merging with T-Mobile. And they didn't offer the phone that I really needed or wanted. So I had to search for which provider carries the phone I want. I found 2 different providers. Verizon and AT&T carried it. So I'm switching over to AT&T because that's what I use for my internet and phone anyway. But oh my God, was it complicated to try to just order a damn phone and switch services. It literally took me over 2 hours to just do that. Plus, it took me about 3 hours to research who had the phone and where was it available and how could I get it. It was too complicated. But anyhow, I'll have a new phone. It's the one I really wanted. And actually, AT&T, I got a decent rate with them. Even though I have AT&T with my internet and regular landline, I couldn't bundle my cell phone service in it. It was cheaper for me to go ahead and open up a different contract for just the cell phone as if I was an extra person than try to bundle it with mine. It saved me like $50 a month doing it independently, which makes no sense. Why can't I just bundle it all together with my internet and my regular landline? Makes no sense, but hey, save $50 a month by doing it as a separate plan. Go figure. Anyway, enough of my rant. I hope you guys have a good week this week. I will touch base with you tomorrow. And hopefully, oh, this hair is so long. Look at this. Oh, my curls are starting to show up. Ah! Anyway, have a good one, and we'll talk very soon. Thank you again for letting me rant. I feel better. How about you? Put a comment down below. What is angering you through all of this? Let's share. All right. Hasta mañana. Bye.